So I'm starting on section 6.4, page 346, the practice questions odd. And let's start. So add or subtract doesn't tell us to use vertical or horizontal method. So I'm going to use the method that makes most sense for me. And I'm just going to add like terms by highlighting them. So technically it would be a horizontal method. So I'm going to take these here and I'm grouping them by highlighting them, okay? So I'm just going to take my groups and highlight them. And so essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking the 2x to the fourth power and adding negative x to the fourth to it. So if I was going to show all of the steps, it would be, and again, I'm going to get to the point where I don't have to show every single step. Getting comfortable with this. So I'm going to add to it the negative x to the fourth. Okay. The next group would be negative 6x squared. I'm going to add to that 3x squared. And then the final group would be 8. It says minus 12. And again, what I like doing is I like adding negative 12. It's a preference of mine. Again, this is a parentheses, not 18. And so, combining my like terms, I end up with 2x to the fourth plus negative x to the fourth. So remember, it's 2 plus negative 1. There is a coefficient of 1 there, which is 1x to the fourth, or just x to the fourth. Negative 6x squared plus 3x squared. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. So you can add it as plus negative 3x squared. It's always an option. And then finally, 8 plus negative 12 is negative 4. It can be written as plus negative 4. Now, the other choice when writing this out would be to write it out as x to the fourth minus 3x squared minus 4. So the idea is that when you add a negative number, like negative 3x squared, it's identical to subtracting 3x squared. There is no change. It's equivalent. All right, so let's look at number 3. Let's try a different technique without showing all the work. So watch what I do here. So typically you have to write this in standard form, right? Starting with the largest power, so they would be written first. But I'm going to use the highlight technique. I'm going to highlight all my common terms. Let's see, is our next squared term? Nope. So that's basically it, guys. We don't have any other values. The highest power is 7x to the fourth. Now the other terms are separate. So with that said, the 7x to the fourth power would be written first. It's a positive value. There's no negative sign that needs to be distributed. That would be 7x to the fourth. The next is the x squared term. Now this is negative 6 plus 9, which is positive 3. This would be plus 3x to the third. Okay, so just keep track of what I've done. I've taken care of that, taken care of these two terms. And now we'll start with the x squared term. It's a positive value, so it's plus 5x squared. Okay, let's cross that off. Let's look at our next term. It's 3x. Positive, right? Plus 3x. Here, plus 11. So that's the solution. Number 5. Give myself some room. Okay. Now number 5, we're going to have to distribute. So I'm going to distribute now. Becomes a positive sign, and all of these change to their opposite sign. So this becomes, instead of Negative 4x is positive x to the fourth. That's what I meant to say. This is negative 5x squared, and this is positive 12. Okay? So now I'm going to group using my highlighter. So let's find the largest exponent and group it up with the other. Okay, now we have do this kind of mentally. It's 2 plus, there's a coefficient of 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3, so it's 3x to the fourth. Power, okay. Let's cross that off. We've got negative 6x squared plus negative 5x squared. So negative 6x plus negative 5x is negative 11x. When you add numbers that have the same sign, you keep the sign. This would be plus negative 11x squared. Again, you could write it as minus 11x squared. Let's cross that off. And then finally, it's 8 plus 12 is 20, positive 20. So, it's one way of writing it, or, again, okay, good stuff. Keep moving forward. Excuse me. Fighting this cold. Distribute the negative sign. Choose a different color. And so we end up with okay, great. Now let's highlight our like terms. And so we have two different terms here that aren't alike. We have the constant 1 and the negative 7x to the third power, which is our largest power, which becomes the degree of this polynomial. So let's start with the largest power, the largest exponent here. It's negative 7x to the third. I keep that negative sign since that distributed. So cross that off. We get 2x squared plus negative 7x squared. So 2 plus negative 5, or negative 7 is negative 5. So it's plus negative 5x squared, or minus 5x squared. Let's cross that off. And then we have 3x plus 2x, or 3 plus 2 is 5. So 5x, positive value. And then finally, our lone constant is positive 1. Again, you can rewrite this as if you're not working out the even questions, go ahead and work into the other space available. So I'll stop there. It's 8 minutes of work. We'll do more soon. So study hard and learn a lot, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.